Brought to you by GatewayCitySavers.com.
Softli's Scouting Report, hosted by Cliff Saunders, exclusively on 101ESPN.com.
Hello and welcome on into the Softli Scouting Report here on 101ESPN.com. Tony Softli, 101 ESPN NFL analyst and former Rams Vice President of Player Personnel, joins me as always. Tony, this week the Seahawks come to town. They have won 10 in a row in this series against the Rams. It's a noon kick. First of all, what do we make of the Seahawks? Are they the team that beat San Francisco, that beat San Diego, or are they the team that got thumped by Denver in week 2?
Well, I think what you're going to get, Cliff, is I think you're going to get a little bit of both. I think this is a good football team, but they're not a great football team. They've been winning in all phases of the games. Football is football, but it's offense, defense, and special teams, and they've done a good job of getting that done. And you know what? Last week with the 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, that was the difference in that game. So, you know what? They are progressing, but they're also developing at the same time.
The biggest change, obviously, is Pete Carroll coming in as head coach, replacing Jim Moore. What has he brought to that team that was different from last year? You
know what? I think Pete Carroll, I know him real well out at SC. You know, I visited there my 15 years in the league and all his tenure at SC. He brings enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is contagious, and what I mean by that is it permeates to his players, his coaches, and what he's done out there in Seattle. It's gone out into the community, and now it's in the 12th man. When the 12th man starts yelling and screaming, you better watch out. It's already loud enough, but with Pete's enthusiasm, things start to develop and roll even faster.
How much of it is Carroll, though, and how much of it is the return to health of quarterback Matt Hasselbeck?
Well, you know what? You see Hasselbeck doing his thing. Right now, he's a little inconsistent in his throws. He's throwing behind his targets. You know, he's throwing over the target of the receivers. But you know what? Hasselbeck's a Pro Bowl quarterback. He's still doing some things that are very effective with the arm, with his legs. He had a naked boot against San Francisco, for instance, where he just faked the handoff and rolled out and scored the touchdown on the run against a fast defense. So he's still capable of doing some things for you, but I think it's a combination of both, to answer your question, Cliff. I think it's Carroll and Hasselbeck and a solid 3 phases of the game.
Tony, I'm looking at this roster, and I'm trying to find game breakers on the Seattle Seahawks roster. I don't know who they are. Who are they, if they even have any?
Well, you know what? There's no big game breaker, but I'll tell you what they have. They have consistency and Hasselbeck and Forsett on offense. You know, they have a couple of the receivers that are doing a good job, and Deion Butler. And don't count out Golden Tate, but their mainstay, their main guy is Carlson, the tight end. He's doing an exceptional job. He has since he's been in this league. Those are the guys that are really on offense. And on defense, you're looking at Brandon Maybean, the defensive tackle. And the guy that jumps out on tape for me is Clemens, 91. They list him as an outside linebacker, but they use him as a defensive end, his hands in the dirt. He can rush the passer. He's got very natural pass rush skills. He's got good burst and acceleration off that edge. And it's exciting to watch this guy because you know what? He's going to go against Saffold, and he'll go against Smith because they'll put him on the right and the left side. Look for him to do some things this weekend.
Let's focus a little more on their defense. Last year, Lofa Tatupu was not healthy. This year, he is. Where are they vulnerable, though, on that side of the ball?
Well, Tatupu is their bell cow. You know, I think where they're vulnerable on this side of the ball is in the secondary. It's amazing to me when they're spread out that they go in a zone in their nickel and dime package, which is a 5 and 6 defensive backs. They go in a zone. They don't do any man coverage. They don't do any combination of man zone. They don't bracket or anything within the coverage itself. They go straight zone, and that's why they're getting thrown on, and that's why they're giving up all the passing yardages as they are right now.
Let's talk about the Rams a little bit. As of this moment, we don't know if Steven Jackson is going to play. So let's assume that the groin injury has him out for the game. How does that change this offense with Sam Bradford at quarterback?
Well, let me just tell you something about Steven Jackson, okay? This guy's a workhorse. You know that. These people know that. He played with a bulging disc in his back last year. I think he can play with a strained groin. Don't be fooled. Don't get it twisted. He will be playing on Sunday. It's just a matter of how long is he going to play, how much can he give those guys. And you know what? Darby and Tolston are going to have to step up and do their thing. And you know what? It might be good enough, but I think what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to put this on Sam Bradford's shoulders. He's going to have to throw the ball a lot more. It's going to be a little bit of an imbalanced offense this week with a little bit more pass than run. And you know what? I think he'll get it done. If they spread it out, they use 3 to 4 receiver sets, take care of that tight end in the middle and let Amendola and Gilliard and those guys get off. I think Sam's going to have a good day.
If this does become more of a passing game for Sam Bradford, how will Pete Carroll, who basically acts as his own defensive coordinator in Seattle, how is that going to change what he will do, the kind of looks he will throw at Sam Bradford?
Well, what you've seen them do, Cliff, in the first 3 games is they pressure the quarterback big time. And what they're going to do is they're going to come pressure Sam. He said in his press conference, hey, this guy is not a rookie. He's well beyond his means. They've given him a lot of the playbook to develop and carry on. And I'll tell you what, they're going to come with him, and the front 7 is going to go ahead and put some pressure on him. And you know what? That's when Sam's at his best. If they've looked at those stats, when Sam is productive, it's when you pressure him. So you know what? Come on with the pressure.
It'll be the Seahawks and the Rams coming up Sunday at noon at the Edward Jones Dome. Tony Softli will join Randy Carricker and Rick Venturi with the pregame at 9 o'clock Sunday morning on 101 ESPN. Then at noon, it's the kick with Steve Savart and DeMarco Farr. I'll have the postgame with Coach Jim Hannafin right after the game comes to an end. This has been the Week 4 edition of the Softli Scouting Report. For Tony Softli, I'm Cliff Saunders. You've got it locked on 101ESPN.com.